This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RuffTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Plenty to talk about this week with releases like, Walkabout Mini Golf's Journey to the Center of the Earth DLC that we've been itching for. And then, free-to-play game Quantar. And then, of course, this, 1 week ago, last
the talk
Monday,
of all last week and still talk.
yes, the Apple announced officially their Apple Vision Pro. I don't know if they've used the word headset.
They're avoiding that's my understanding anyways, is they're trying to avoid the use of the word headset.
Well, they definitely haven't said VR.
So it's a facial spatial computer.
It's Apple Vision, bro. No, that's the way it goes.
Did you say bro or pro?
I as soon as I said it, I laughed because I was like, I said bro, but it sounded like pro.
That's going to be the next upgrade model, the Apple Vision Bro.
That's what we'll call
But they'll spell
the fanboys of it.
BRAH. Oh no, they'll do the BOI. Boy, because everyone knows how much I love that. All right.
Yeah, we'll call the fanboys of the Vision Pro.
No, I watched the showcase.
It was actually, you know what? I'll give them credit. It wasn't a bad presentation.
It's pretty fucking long.
Well, they of course saved it to
Excuse
the
my
end.
language.
We knew that it was going to be the end thing, just because if we made it, that's how we would do it, right? You
Yeah.
save it for the end. So they did their whole presentation of all their Apple products and stuff, and then they went, one last thing or one more thing, And then it was like, all right, here it comes. And then they announced it, and it looked pretty good. I mean, a lot of the features look cool. It had that classic Apple user interface. They had some collaboration with Disney. You can play games sitting down with a controller as well. There's hand tracking and like all the App Store games.
Controller you buy to
Yes, to use it. It's not,
this
it
does
doesn't
not come with
with
any
it.
controllers.
And then, all the existing App Store games are going to be on it, like everybody's everybody's grandma's favorite App Store game, Candy Crush Saga.
Yeah,
But
I see that happening.
Rec Room's also going to be in it as like the first confirmed fully immersive VR app. So nonetheless, you're going to be able to play all the App Store games, kind of flat screen.
I don't know.
It looked
cautious
flat screen.
caution with everything, because I think they actually used a number.
Okay, yeah, I won't say everything.
Yeah, I got the feeling that
there's a limited amount. It's possible
that there's only a certain amount that'll probably be on it and not. So
okay, but it
I
didn't
could
seem
be
like immersive VR apps. It looked like you watch them on a screen, and then there's also like a toggle on it that you can toggle between like an immersive VR mode and like a color pass-through mode. And then they had this weird feature that I'm not sold on, where you could see the eyes of the person on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That part looked a little weird, but I won't lie. Overall, the presentation was good. It was like by the end of it, I was like, you know what? If I had infinite resources, I might be sold on it. Let's hear it. And then when they said the price tag of $34.99 coming, quote unquote, early next year.
That's the bare bones model.
Yeah, it said starting at $34.99.
So that's your entry level.
I mean, then I was like, all right, I just sat through a timeshare pitch that I knew I couldn't afford, but I was almost a little sold, and then I laugh at the end when I hear the price, But it was actually a good presentation, I think, for developers, for people who work at home that have the use case of the infinite screen potential, or a porn addict's, dream as well. Infinite screens going on, they're going to get nothing done. So either a lot of productivity or no productivity going to come because of this thing. But for those people, for web developers or developers who want to get on for next editions and huge tech enthusiasts with huge budgets, it's going to be great. But for your average folk, I don't think $34.99 it's laughable, you know?
It's a little, I mean, I don't know.
But there's a market for it. There's, like I said, the developers, the enthusiasts.
I don't think it's going to be the 20 million, I mean.
No.
But it's not, it's a totally different animal. It's not, and I see constant comparisons. They're, this is the Quest 2 and this is the Apple
How's it compared
Vision.
to the Pro? How's it going to compare to the 3?
That's the Bro, dude.
Yeah.
The one I can afford is the Apple Vision Bro. Get it from Wish App. But they're totally separate technologies, and I mean, I get the Quest for gaming, not production.
Or like productivity and stuff.
Yeah, it's like I'm not required at work to need to wear a. But if I was on the other side of the, I mean, don't get it twisted. If it was $500, I'd buy it.
Well, and don't get it twisted too. If I had 7-figure income, I'd be like, yeah, shit.
What I really liked about it,
but
it's like, I like the ability that you can lay down because you have no restriction in the back of your head. It appears.
Besides
so
a wire going to a battery.
Well, they show the lady laying down in bed with it.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxing and chilling. So it's, to me, it's more of like almost like an old school television, I guess. You're just paying a lot of money for a new technology to watch TV, more or less. But I get it does a whole fleet of other things. And
I'm not debating that all of those features are real and are going to be good. But there were some parts of the presentation that I'm like, I'm not sure if that's a theoretical footage or an actual captured image of what's going on.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, everyone I've read that reviewed it,
they've all said good things.
Well, they said, but I don't think they had all the time in the world to explore every inch of it. So, they got to do what they got to do.
I think it was a pretty linear demo everybody got to experience.
So I questioned what was legit. And especially after I heard, okay, I thought perhaps it would come out by end of year, but
next year. But they just had to get it out. They had to say something at this point.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean...
But so I mean, hey, look, it doesn't.
It's been a couple of years.
It doesn't look like a terrible thing. I'm not gonna.
I was curious if you can drive with it. That was my big thing during the present.
Yeah, because like, you have the full color pass through.
It might potentially see better than I do. So why can't I drive through with it? And it's a portable battery, right?
Yeah.
Some cars come with built-in Wi-Fi now. So
and hey, all the rumors were correct with like no huge VR game support at launch.
No,
the hand tracking.
It's not what it's for.
The wire to the battery. There is, what was cool to see, an official partnership announced with Unity for, developers with existing apps made via Unity to more easily port their games to the Vision Pro. So who knows how long this partnership has been? Because they have some tools ready to go, some tutorials, and the partnership was announced there. So that's not something that happens overnight. I'm curious how fleshed out this is. It definitely
wasn't a surprise to people involved, like, oh, really? We're doing that now.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. We did a round table the other week with 3 Pound Games, the makers of Space Dragon Unchained. And we had a Unity guy there. And both him and Robin Mulder, the CEO of 3 Pound Games, were both very optimistic about the Apple headset, the quote unquote, upcoming Apple headset at that time. And I was like, well, that's cool to hear. The Unity guy's like really pro Apple. And as soon as it was announced, I was like, this guy definitely knew
it's possible
at that time, without a doubt. Although it also could have been something that very few people in the company knew. So I'm being speculative like that. But I instantly thought of him. I was like, oh man, he probably wanted to say so much things he just couldn't, and we're just sitting there speculating. He's like, you guys are all wrong, but unable to say it.
Had one right on the table to the right of him, just staring at it the whole time. Like, oh, I should just put this on.
He's like, all right, now time to make a cut. Let me think of some bad guesses, So
no, it's a cool device. It's just out of my budget at $3,400 for an entry level, But I got questions. I want to know the cooling. It sounds like they're going to be running some serious processing in the thing. So I want to know, like, if I did choose to wear it for 2 hours, and they kind of implied that you could live in this thing, which I probably wouldn't want to, but, is it going to get hot, or is it going to, how are you cooling it? Am I going to hear the fans running to keep it cool? I don't know. I just, those are more my, the technology looks amazing, so I'm not even doubting it's going to work well.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to gonna crap on it, be a hater, and say, "Oh my goodness, look at this joke of it." I'm guaranteed it's gonna be great, but it's definitely not for me, just price wise or market wise or anything like that.
No, I don't really have the use other than probably taking advantage of watching TV and movies, and
To me,
maybe some of the app games that I have.
it did make the Quest 3 day one purchase to me even more appealing. I will say, I was like, "Whew, we got color pass through, we got hand tracking, and we got a shit ton of games, for 500.
I mean,
I'm sold."
If it was a VR specific headset that they just demoed and showed with all this crazy technology they're pumping into it,
It's a
then
spatial headset.
I might be persuaded to be like, I don't want to spend $3,400 on it, but maybe I need to, because if it's undoubtedly going to be the best gaming experience I can get for the money.
They don't even seem to be going that market. They're going completely different route.
Because it's a different thing. I'm not even sweating it. The Quest 3 is fine for me.
Yeah, and there was some leaked memo of Zuck's thoughts on it, and I've seen some clickbait articles about it. But if the text of it is 100% accurate, he wasn't disrespectful in his statement. He was basically saying they didn't do anything that we haven't played around with in prototypes yet. He's like, I was definitely interested and curious to see them enter the market. And he's just like, a lot of their things are people sitting on the couch not moving, whereas our stuff gets people active and moving and stuff like that. But it didn't really seem like he said anything derogatory or overly negative like some news articles might say.
No, and I mean, let's be honest. You're talking the world of billionaires. They can act like they're all in this competitive, circus they got going on. But the reality is they know damn well what's going on. So Zuck knew the technology. That's the thing. I'm sure, as much as he'll even pretend oh, when I get to try one, it's get the hell out of here. You guys were having lunch.
You got one in your basement right now.
You guys are 2 months ago has probably handed it to you over dinner. I don't buy that. So, but I do believe him that, because remember when it was known that Meta would have one headset to just do one specific task to see how it runs, and then they had another headset, just nothing for sale, just technology checking, whatever. And
yeah, so I totally believe that they went that theoretical.
They were probably okay, we can't, to do what they're doing to keep the price affordable, But no, I'm quite sure if Meta wanted to put out a $3,500 headset, it would probably be pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm all about
but
more players in the market, so I'm glad to see them enter. But
it's a good one.
Again, not going to hate on the technology.
It's got people who aren't talking about, I don't want to say headsets, but I will. But it has people talking. I've gotten a few text messages from people have you seen this? And it's yeah, you think?
Well, what's cool is, again, I don't want to do the Quest 3 versus Apple Vision Pro, because they're different markets.
Totally different Porsche and Volkswagen.
But I think what's really cool is I do think that we're going to see a spike of interest in VR in general, even towards Meta because of it, because there's something about Apple that Apple's cool. So now that Apple's making a headsets are, they're more inclined to be the cool thing,
Let's see how many people are standing in line at the Apple store for the release.
I think that you're going to see a lot of people go, I'm really interested in the Vision Pro, but I can't afford it. But VR looks kind of cool, so I'm going to go get the Quest.
It's not VR. Can't put the thing on your. You can't put the thing on your head and be "This is true VR." Well,
I've seen a bunch.
I'm not media.
I know.
Is this the Bloomberg? You doing Bloomberg shit to me?
No, but you're just because they don't use VR doesn't mean that that's not what the public perception is. I've yet to see somebody go, "What's this new Apple revolutionary spatial?" Everybody goes, "Yo!" Everybody who's come up to me, and
they're in
about
for a major disappointment.
They go, "What's up with Apple's VR headset?"
No.
Everybody
they
I've
got it
seen
wrong
call
across
it VR.
the board. Then
I'm just saying, just because that's not how they're going to advertise it.
Where it's gonna where it's actually gonna help Meta a lot is come Christmas time when kids are like, I want the Apple Vision Pro, and the parents go, how much is it? And they go $3,400, and they go, And
they go on Google.
I'm gonna get you a Quest 3 for $5, and you're gonna shut the hell up and be happy you got a Christmas present. You know?
And to all those people that VR was uncool to them, but now that Apple is doing it, it's cool. And then when they really look and compare, and then they start to dabble into, specs and prices, I think that we're going to see people go, all right, I'm interested in the Apple Vision Pro because I'm a bro. but I'll get the 3. It's just speculation. Let's see. Let's see.
It's exclusive to its own thing.
Oh yeah, it's its own market. Like
Yeah.
I said, for real passionate people. And again, if it was in my, don't get me wrong, man. If it was in my spending budget, I would have one today. But well, not today.
I was actually
early next year. But
I was more impressed, to be honest with you, with the new iPhone update coming out.
well, it was the WWDC presentation overall wasn't bad.
No,
It made me because
but that was to me at the end of the day. I was like, because that upgrade in itself, which is going to hit everything from the iPad to the freaking cell phones, it's a huge update. So, what they even carry over to their spatial computer?
I'll say the VR headset was bigger news to me than that. But the overall presentation wasn't bad. What did make me feel better though, sometimes Meta's Kinects and stuff have been kind of corny acting, and I've just never watched other major tech companies. Like this is the first WWDC I watched, and some of the pre-recorded talks were pretty freaking corny acting. So I was like, all right, I guess that's just how these things go.
Oh yeah, well, they don't care.
Yeah.
It's their day to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And they did well.
No, like I said, it wasn't a bad presentation at all.
And what I was saying with the update is it's what impressed me the most, because there is no fucking headset to buy. So
there is no update yet either.
No, but they already geared up everybody for it. Warned, I think it's iPhone 8s won't be able to get they already sent that warning out to people. It'd be like, if you got an 8 or lower, you're not going to get this new update.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I used to have back in when I had a 5C and they cut it off from all future updates. I think that next update was one that really geared me to want to get an upgraded phone, because I'm like, I'm missing out on all this cool stuff. So it's a win.
Yeah, no, like I said, not a bad presentation at all.
No.
I'm definitely curious to see what I
want to see when it goes on for sale.
Well, I want to see what starting at means. Like, let's see how expensive this baby gets. You got to get insurance on something like that.
That's it's an
$3,500. You're not going to get.
Some
insurance.
people are going to disagree with me, I'm sure, and that's fine. But I think it's an issue that's not being talked about, because I've heard people saying like, "Yeah, make sure you get the insurance." What do you think the insurance is going to cost for a $3,500 unit that they know the probability is likely you're going to do something? At least you're not going to break a controller.
Well, again, I think to the market of people that can afford the headset, I think that they can afford a little insurance.
It's like buying a sports car then. If you have to ask how much it is, then you can't afford it.
100%. Again, it's for the enthusiasts, that's all.
So I could see it going as high as like $6-7 grand if you really pimped it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Why not, right?
That'll be a fun thing. But in other news, Zuck was saying the Quest 3 mixed reality is better and more advanced than the Quest Pro in a recent interview, which I saw some people saying, well, no, duh.
I hope so.
It's newer technology, but I do think that that's worth saying, because
at least it's confirmation.
The Quest Pro came out over $1,000. This is a $500 headset. It's nice to know that there's some things that the Quest Pro did first, that even though it's half the price, more than half the price, or less than half the price, I'm sorry, that it's still going to do those features as well and better. That's huge, man.
Yeah, no, listen, all eyes are going to be on this Quest 3, because they're already comparing it now to the spatial computer that's not available, and they're being held to that, you know? So it's going to be weird. I honestly think it's going to be weird. I feel like almost no matter how well they do with the Quest 3, it's still going to be, it's not as good as the spatial computer. So even though, I mean, totally different worlds, it's like, it's just bizarre.
Now you're comparing them.
Well, because I'm expecting it. Because I already know the Quest 3 is going to be good. From what everybody's heard or seen or was leaked or whatever, it's like it all shows positive things. We got our like wish list of items on the damn thing. Pancake lenses alone, pretty easy to like impress, but so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited for
how much the higher end ones are going to cost for the bigger storage, because I agree with you. I don't even know if you said it on air, but like additional storage is not very expensive.
That was my big my big thing last week. I was like, that was my only gripe.
So it's like, how much are you going to charge me?
Besides not giving me a black model, I want a black model.
Yeah, get
And
a Sharpie.
128 gigabytes ain't enough. You know, I need and 256 isn't going to be enough.
No, 128's a joke because there's some games coming out that are going to chomp that right up.
That is 100% the equivalent of the Quest 2 releasing at 64 gigabytes.
Yeah.
You know,
Not fooling me.
nope.
What's the biggest one you got?
I didn't make this mistake for the Quest 2.
Nope.
I fill up my 256 with what's available today.
Yeah, I can't install everything by any stretch.
To me, 512 is a
Not
minimum.
even funny.
So, yeah.
Even 512, I'd probably be a little...
Yeah.
Because games are only going to get bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah. Bastards.
I'll be angry if that gets delayed somehow.
What?
If they like Apple the Quest 3.
There's no way it delays, in my
Right?
opinion. No way.
No,
I'm so
of course not.
confident in Meta's supply chain and everything. Dude, so it's coming out in October.
Somebody's got one.
October, November. They say that it's releasing in fall. So what's that? October, November? We're 4 or 5 months away from this baby. That means it's freaking in fact, like it's going out soon.
Yeah, just put aside $100 a month.
Yeah, they're that
You'll
thing's done.
you'll feel no pain on the pump on that
Oh,
one.
dude, I'm so excited. And
Yeah.
I'd like to know for all of our Discord listeners and stuff like that, because we have a nice little episode discussion thread, what everybody's like most hyped feature for the Quest 3 is. Because mine's definitely pancake lenses.
Yeah, that'd be mine.
Without a doubt. I'll be so annoying about it. And then color pass through, but you know, honestly.
The color pass-through is number 2 for me.
Yeah. Although
For
no,
sure.
I'd actually put the higher processing power above color pass through.
I don't know. I'll sacrifice. No,
It's tough, right? But my number one,
because I know we're getting more jacked up on upgrade 55,
Mhm.
which should be coming out soon because they really miffed up 54.
Mhm.
So,
Dude, if 3-4 months, here's why pancake lenses is my number one. If 3 or 4 months ago, along with or whenever the Quest, let's say back last October when the Quest Pro came out,
mhm.
they said here's the Quest Pro, but also for $500, here's the Quest 2 Plus,
with pancake
and it
ones?
just had
I
I
would've
would have
bought
bought
it.
in $500, 100%, right? So that's definitely my number one feature.
And at that point, you would have probably added 2 Pro controllers to the cart because,
Yeah.
well, if you're going to spend $500 anyways, you might as well get the Pro controllers.
Oh, no, but see, so pancake lens is definitely mine. But I'd be curious to hear from the listeners in our Discord. What's your most hyped,
Feature coming.
Yeah, feature coming to the Quest 3. And other news on the list of upcoming games. Another hack and slash game. I know you were excited watching this trailer. This one's called Hellsweeper VR. It's coming to the Quest in September. Now, here's the thing. It's made from really reputable studio, Vertigo Games. So that gives me more confidence than anything else. We often joke that there's no shortage of VR hack and slash.
Nope.
That's just the way it goes. But, man, it's Vertigo. I can't think of an instance of a Vertigo.
No, I put trust in them to deliver a good product.
Is there one that we've played that we haven't liked yet?
No.
I mean, and they got Arizona Sunshine 2 coming as well. So I'm curious to check out Hellsweeper VR. VR hack and slash games are be coming to me in the same realm that if I see you have a new rhythm game coming out, I'll try it.
I think the only thing this one's missing is the rhythm game section of it.
Well,
because it looks like it's got so many elements of so many different styles of game that they were like, if we take the best of from every hack and slash, from roguelites to sandbox to to co-op to
level up
to friggin' like barbarian style. I don't just making that up.
But
probably.
you're right. But there's level ups, there's roguelite mode, like you said, sandbox. So
they've got all the bases covered.
This game looks like a best of hack and slash games,
Yeah.
So definitely another one
100%.
where as we approach summer, definitely turn on, although it'll be a September, that you definitely want the AC on while you play this one because it looks like you'll be sweating.
Yeah, you'll be burning some calories.
Look like a variety of weapons too, with like ranged weapons, bow and arrow.
Yeah,
there's
a gun.
A lot of hack and
Or
slash.
some sort of shooting utensil.
So let's see. Even though it's a genre that I feel is a little saturated in VR, coming from a reputable studio like Vertigo, I gotta check it out. So stay tuned for that in September. Another game coming that is technically available on App Lab in an in-development version, but it's moving to the official MetaQuest store on June 15th. That's Sherlock Holmes, The Case of Hung Parliament. And
Was the Parliament hung?
well, I wasn't the most sold on it on title. I got nothing against Sherlock Holmes games, but
No, I own a couple for Xbox.
typically they don't
They're usually just search and solve, but they're put together pretty well. One of them not so well, but
this one's
there's a newer one that's pretty not too bad.
Well, the thing that really sold me on this, that I was like, all right, I went from maybe I'll check this out to like, I actually might buy this day one at release, is the fact that it's solo and up to 4-player co-op. And it looked like they used the meta avatars, and it looks like in the co-op, so you're hanging with your friends in multiplayer and try to solve like not crimes or whatever,
They'd have to be crimes.
investigations,
You can't do a name. You can't do Sherlock Holmes and it not be something,
Yeah.
mystery related.
Well, that's solve mysteries. I didn't want to necessarily say crime because there could be other mysteries that aren't crime, right?
Who took my coffee cake?
Well, that's still a crime. So, yeah, I guess in technical, they're all crimes. But mystery is definitely a better word. You'll solve mysteries with your friends. Again, I don't know how sold I would be single player, but, dude, anything co-op with you, I'm in. So,
Well, and they're using full motion video,
yeah, it said some like...
which I don't generally care for, except for...
we saw it good and not for broadcast.
Not for broadcast. They did really well with it. But I played a couple of other flat screen games that do it. And even going back to the girl from Different Strokes back in the Dreamcast days.
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, it was way before your time. But
Well, I played Dreamcast. I'm just trying to think of...
It was a full motion video. It
definitely
might have
not
even
coming to
been
me.
pre-Dreamcast. Yes. What was before the Dreamcast? Oh my God. I think it was still a Sega product. But anywho, all the way from back then, they've been doing them. And
Well, it seems to work good in VR, so let's see.
Usually that good.
So let's see about that one. That one's coming out June 15th. And like I said, solo and up to 4-player co-op. And then also in the realm of updates, a game that we loved. It won our multiplayer game of the year in last year's Rough Talk VR Game Award show. Mothergunship Forge. They announced their 1-year anniversary update, adding food weapons and a fiery fist mode added to the game.
I actually went in and when I heard about the update, I went in to try to I didn't get enough. I was doing the kind of like endless solo one there, just to see if I could pick up the weapons. And I didn't really feel like I got any of the new ones. I got a new Frozen one that I'd never gotten. And it even told me, like, you've never gotten this.
But by chance, you just didn't get any of the...
No, I
food
was
ones?
bummed, man.
But I know one of our Patreon
Amelia,
members,
right?
that we'll give a shout out to in a few. She had said something, I think Potato Gun.
Yeah.
And Potato Gun has me sold. In
The way she wrote it sounded like it was
a lot of silly
serious gun, though. Like, that's the gun of all the guns. So I'm curious. I meant to ask, but I figured I could find it. So far, no.
So, no, but nonetheless, Mothergunship Forge, a game we love, still getting updates.
Dude, that game is the best.
Yeah. 1-year anniversary, too. That's really cool to see. 1 year and still getting...
And
new
every
content.
season, they change the...
Like winter, I know they had a winter one.
Yeah, and they got like the elf wearing...
I think they
little
had like a
robots
Valentine's Day one for February as well, right?
I believe so.
Something like that.
So they're pretty good in that sense, too.
Yeah.
Which cracks me up because it's like... It's hard enough to keep a game running, as there's updates to machines. You got to make sure your game's not going to all of a sudden start crashing. But in the midst of all that, you find it, you make the time to put like little hats on the robots and shit. It's like, come on.
And they described,
that's a nice touch.
They said the fiery fist mode is essentially Mothergunship workout. So I'm just putting my...
I haven't tried that yet.
No, but my imagination says that you're going to be doing a lot of air punching.
Yeah.
If it's called Fiery Fists, and they say that's Mothergunship workout, I'll use my imagination there. So huge props to Terrible Posture Games. And then another one, still getting updates from Resolution Games, Bait. It's a free-to-play multiplayer fishing game, or single player as well. It's funny, we were watching the trailer for the DLC, and you're like, dude, this game looks so much like if Walkabout made a fishing game. Yeah. But they added another new content update. So this game came out May of 2019, 4 years ago, free to play. Still adding content updates.
I wonder how many people keep that one going.
Yeah, Resolution's beast, dude.
But yeah, dude, they're not. I mean, same thing with Vertigo and
Fast Travel and all of them. But to still see a free-to-play game 4 years later getting updates.
no, it is impressive.
And it was a nice trailer. You know, this one's called Treasure Island. You know, no, I'm sorry, Treasure Hunters. It was the Treasure Hunters update. And it looked really fun in the trailer. So huge props to
Yeah,
Resolution.
I've always avoided it, and I don't know why.
I'll tell you why. Free-to-play.
Free to play.
We always stay away from free-to-play. We're terrible with it. Besides when we first bought the headset and we're just like looking for quick content.
For free shit.
Yeah. But especially since, you know, once we started the podcast and stuff, it was like we didn't go looking for free-to-play games as the ones to review, you know?
No. We kind of made the assumption the paid ones might be better.
But some of these free-to-play ones, like a game that we're chipping away at, and we actually have an interview with the developers coming later this week, Quantar also came out this past week. And, you know, we were talking about trying to do a review of it this week, but we're honest reviewers. You know, we have to give a game its fair time. And the game, you know,
It's got some bugs to work out.
well, and we've
Well,
done
not really their fault though. They
There's
got
some server
issues.
hiccups.
Yeah.
And beyond that, we've done under a week of it. You know, it's like we really got to give the game its fair shake. And, you know, before we say confidently our words, you know, and say, hey, it's worth it, not worth it, whatever. But
It's free, dude.
it's definitely worth it. I'll give that spoiler.
You know, it's a free game.
Yeah.
Anything that's free is at least worth trying. What just blows me away is people will try a free game and not enjoy it and then 1-star it.
No.
it's like-
One star because of a server hiccup. So,
Well, you don't, okay.
so if you're one of those people that drop,
As the player though, and in defense of the player, you
They
don't
didn't-
know that.
yeah, they didn't have a
You
message.
just downloaded the game, you freaking open it up, and something's not working right. You're not going to sit there and be like, well, that must be a server issue.
Yeah, they had you know, they upgraded their server, so the server wasn't working at that time. There were just some hiccups from it being too full.
The game was too popular.
But
I guess they underestimated the amount of people that would actually jump in to play it, and that's a good problem to have. So, but
Well-
they're fixing all that.
what would happen would be you would go in, it would do the main boot sequence, and then instead of, you know, loading into the lobby, it would just redo the main boot sequence and redo the main boot sequence, and you'd be stuck and you'd be like, dude, I can't get in the game. So I agree. If they just had a message that said server down, server issue, you know, try again later, I think that might have reduced the,
Yeah,
you know,
it could have.
because
It doesn't matter because they responded to most of the criticism anyways.
on the review saying, hey, it's fixed.
But I don't see anybody undoing their 1-star on it.
Even though it's such a freaking fun game. You know, like I said, we'll give it our fair shake. We'll
I'm not saying nothing.
spoil free on that
But
side.
you want a piece, you come find me in
Yeah, I will say
find me in Qatar.
this is one of those multiplayer games where I don't know why, but we are doing good in it.
Yeah, I send you messages all the time, and I'm like, dude, I suck wicked bad. But then
The stats don't back that up.
No,
You know, your perception versus your reality.
just shows you how much better I want to be, I guess.
And it's like, it's not only like we win the single player, I mean, the 2v2 ones, you did a solo one, and then you sent me the picture, and you freaking, everybody was in the negatives, and you were like
Spanked
+5.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Pretty
got,
good. But anyways,
that's a free to play game. Kind of, you know, a lot of people say Super Smash Bros. In VR. I think people say that for marketing hype and you know, I can see the comparison.
I think
but
it's the only thing you can relate it to.
It's the closest, but it's really fun.
It's
you know?
its own. I
its
don't
own
want to
thing.
say nothing.
Yeah, but definitely go check it out.
It's free.
It's free to play. If you
Don't 1-star a free game.
if you one started because of the
You
server,
paid for it, I get it.
yeah, but free to play on 2 days after launch, dude.
Yeah.
That's ruthless.
Well, yeah, and they're taking a punishment for being successful.
Yeah, because it was just better than they thought, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, so definitely go check them out. Free to play, so much fun. You know, we got an interview with them coming on Wednesday, and then you know, review of it coming soon, and it just came out last week. So great game. In other news as well, before we go into our thoughts on Walkabout Mini Golf's new course, a publisher, My Dearest, the developers of the Chronos series, you know, they've had several VR games. They just announced that they're stepping outside of their comfort realm as just a developer, and they're going into publishing to bring games into VR in Japan. And they announced that they'll offer localization support, translation, and just act as a publisher for these games. And they announced their first one, a game that we're actually familiar with, a hit on the App Lab store. I believe it should be on the official Quest store. Squingle. I guess the best way to describe it would be a psychedelic puzzle game. It's amazing. It's so good. So that's going to be their first published title, and it's cool to see another player entering the world of VR publishing. As we've seen with people like Vertigo.
No, they have a connection and an outlet. So
yeah, I mean,
it's just
it makes sense.
The more people that are getting involved, the more other people are going to want to step up and do their thing for their business. And I know it's not, quote unquote, extremely profitable to be in VR, but there's enough people believing in it to keep it going. So
I'd say get in now, not when it's insanely profitable, because then that's when it's hard.
I don't care what studio you are. If you come into VR blind now, it's like, I'm not putting you above resolution games or fast travel, or just because you might have a fancy name in flat screen, you can pound salt. You got to prove yourself. These studios have all kind of proved themselves.
Yeah. No, huge stuff.
Huge stuff. That's good news.
And then one more thing before we go into Walkabout Mini Golf. We can take an ad break before that as well. But I know that there was one big thing that you wanted to give a mention to regarding a company we love, Maze Theory. We talked with Russ Harding at PAX East.
That's a cool dude.
Yeah, man. He was the creative director behind Peaky Blinders. The studio Maze Theory, they've also done a Doctor Who game before. So they're freaking legit. And it looks like that they're teasing. They're teasing something.
I found, and you can find it on any social media. They're on all of them, right?
But like this is Instagram is what's it called?
The Infinite Inside. The Infinite Inside. And I keep posting a video that I was able to grab, and
it's on their Instagram.
I want to know what it is.
Yeah, they're teasing something.
Something's coming. I have shaken tree and gotten no fruit, trying to figure out what it could be. But yeah, they're working on something. It looks like it's going to be something wicked cool.
It looks like mixed reality.
I just can't tell you what if you told me it was a Beat Saber competitor at the end of the day, I might have to believe you. But nowhere in the video does it allude to that. But
it also doesn't seem to allude to anything like IP licensing, and we know that that's what Russ does good. It
looks like there's a puzzle in what I'm believing is somebody's real room.
Because they said mixed reality in the trailer.
But it's also like a reality like you've never seen before. So I'm wondering if the inside of the puzzle is your actual room. I'm like, I keep trying to throw guesses of what it could potentially be, because I'm like, what if it was a puzzle and then you look inside the puzzle, but that puzzle inside is your actual living area, that somehow, because you're using the pass-through,
it designs
that
the
it
puzzle.
projects in there. That's the only thing I can kind of grasp at this point, and I don't think I'm remotely close to what's going on. But yeah, it's had me pretty glued for the past week, and you'll probably see me posting it on social media all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm
because I just want answers, and I trust that it's going to be something nice.
Yeah, and we loved Peaky Blinders. That's another game with updates still coming to it.
Fucking Blinders.
They had their roadmap. I think it went all the way into.
Dude, they're updating the crap out of that game.
Yeah, so
constantly now.
I see Maze Theory. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Russ is super cool, dude.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
I cannot wait to see what comes from this one, but I don't know how close, how far away it is. All I know is
I know nothing other than the trailer.
It's a cryptic ass trailer too.
The Infinite Inside. So you want to solve a puzzle, go to their social media and check out the video.
Right? Maybe the game's a puzzle game, but figuring out what this is a puzzle of its own.
Then throw a comment in Discord or however you want to get it to us, and let me know what you've come up with, because I'm struggling on this one. Usually you can get a little piece of something, but that's how deep I'm reaching to what I think it is.
Like, oh, it's vampires. Oh, it's werewolves. Oh, it's
yeah, this is like, I have no clue. Other than I know I probably want color pass through to play it.
To me, this is like more of a selling pitch for the Quest 3, you know?
Dude,
Hell
there's
yeah.
some games that I'm holding out on that are available right now because I want the pass through in color before I'll play them.
So this is okay. I'll conclude with that and say I'm so hyped for this. But
Yeah,
this
we'll
is
see what happens.
a little off topic anecdotal thing where I have a good group of friends where a couple of them have bought in headsets,
Mm-hmm.
but all of them the rest of them who've expressed any interest have said, I'm waiting for the next one since the Quest 2 came out. And I'm like, when the Quest 3 comes out, they're going to say the next thing because they have some unrealistic expectation of VR. But all of my friends that were saying, I'm waiting for the next one, they're pretty freaking sold about the Quest 3 on release. Like I had one of my friends yesterday saying, like, if it was out today, I would go to Best Buy and buy it.
That's cool.
So I don't know if that's something that
I'll
other
get mine
people
on
observe
Amazon.
or if it's something a little biased towards just my group of friends and it's not consistent with it. But man, based off of that, I think the Quest 3 is going to sell good. I think there's going to be a lot of people that were holding out that they're going to make the jump, you know? And I think Apple announcing their heads, I think it being in the news so much, just VR in general, I think is aiding that push too.
You're not going to be cool if you don't have something.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
VR is cool now.
be the
That's
cool
the best
guy.
thing that Apple getting into VR could have done.
Be the cool person. Go get yourself a VR headset.
Well, because here's the thing. Tech news, media outlets
Mm-hmm.
in general, not just tech news, media, whether it's tech specific or it's a world news, it's a US news, they all love to shit on Meta. Whereas like Apple is like the golden pony. They all freaking love Apple. So yeah, you better believe now that Apple's doing some, even if they don't want to use the word VR, you know, if they're doing some VR according to the media, then yeah, hell yeah, having a headset is cool now, you know. So I think it's really positive.
It's all right. I've always been uncool.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I liked it. I liked it when it was uncool. You know, you can be the VR hipster who
The hipster. Yeah, that's the exact word I was.
you know, it was cool before all the apps.
It'll be the like next generation of PC VR guy. You know.
Don't you remember when VR wasn't mainstream, bro?
Remember when it was like a secret club that cost you $10,000 to do?
Yes. Remember when developers didn't make money? Yes. Let's go back to that. Yes. All right. But nonetheless, so let's take a quick ad break.
Anime cartoons did pretty good though.
So let's take a quick ad break. You know, we'll be back with you in just a moment. You know, we'll take a message from the sponsors. But before we take the ad break, you know, I just want to give a shout out to our Patreon members on our on-air shout out tier. You know, we have a couple different tiers. You know, it's definitely the best way you can support us as a listener, besides, you know, actually listening to the podcast. But yeah, joining the Patreon, that helps a bunch. And we have some tiers that are just supporting. You know, it gives you access to an exclusive channel in our Discord server, which is open to the public as well. You know, you get a cool role in there called Discord Champion as well. And then we have other tiers with, you know, the weekly on-air shout out. We have another tier to get your name on our video. So definitely go check out the Patreon and, you know, give a shout out to the people on that tier. You know, we have Amelia, we have Jake, we have Earth Witness, we have Crispy, and we have Shoes. So thank you all, you know, like I said, and we have other members on the other tiers, and you can always upgrade up. And onto that, we're running a little promotion for the month of June, where if you join our Patreon, or if you upgrade up to the next tier, we'll give you a MetaQuest game key of equivalent value. So example, you join the $10 tier, you get a $10 game. Pretty cool stuff. And then as well, go check out the Discord, which I referenced. You know, you can get access to an exclusive channel in there, but anybody can join our Discord. And there's tons of cool discussion in there. You know, we have a specific channel for general discussion, you know, off-topic stuff, food stuff. You know, we have a channel for each individual headset. So place is popping. It's non-toxic. There's game meetups. There's just cool VR discussion, cool life discussion. Go check that out. You can find the link for all that in our show notes. And to keep Stratus happy, I will say, definitely go subscribe to our YouTube. You know, that's huge. We're trying to push that. We recently broke 500. So we're halfway to 1,000. That's huge. So definitely go check us out on YouTube. That's easy to find us there, Ruff Talk VR. And other than that, we'll be back with you in just a moment.
What's up, everyone? Summer's just around the corner, and are you ready to unveil your beach bod? Manscaped is here to ensure your body is ready for the wild with their game-changing full-body grooming and hygiene products. Don't be that guy at the beach with the Austin Powers chest hair, and if you grew some winter man tits, the least you can do is make sure they're hairless. It's time to get ready for that hot summer weather by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR. Manscaped is dedicated to helping you increase your confidence and level up your full body grooming game with the Performance Package 4.0. The kit comes with the essential Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. Whether you're trimming your chest or your treasure chest in your pants, this is the best trimmer on the market. Their trimmer features a ceramic blade designed to cut hair on loose skin and to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology. You can even trim an arrow pointing to the promised land if you're bold enough. Inside the Performance Package, you'll also find the Manscaped Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer because we all know how painful chafing can be when you're wearing your bathing suit all day. You'll also get 2 free gifts, the Shed Bag of a $39 value and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxers. If you're wearing sandals, you need to get the Manscaped Shears 2.0 Nail Kit. Having the right tools for grooming is essential. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. Trim your chesticles with the besticles. This episode of Ruff Talk VR is sponsored by BetterHelp. Virtual reality gaming is amazing, but let's not forget to take care of our mental health in the real world too. BetterHelp is the world's largest online counseling platform offering professional, affordable, and convenient therapy. Their licensed therapists specialize in everything from depression and anxiety to relationship issues and stress management. So, if you've been struggling to balance your love for MetaQuest VR gaming with life's challenges, BetterHelp is here to support you. They'll match you with the perfect counselor tailored to your specific needs. And with the convenience of video, phone, or even live chat sessions, you can get the help you need from the comfort of your own home. As a Ruff Talk VR listener, you get a special offer of 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Just visit betterhelp.com/RuffTalkVR. That's betterhelp.com/RuffTalkVR and start taking charge of your mental health today.
And we're back. So like I said at the beginning of this last week, Walkabout Mini Golf, they dropped their newest DLC course that we knew was coming. We were hyped for it. It was Walkabout Mini Golf, Journey to the Center of the Earth. And this one was, I'd say it lived up to the hype, man. First off, we went in and you kicked my ass in it. I've even seen people in our Discord posting their scores, and I don't think they did as good as you. I don't know what it was, but you just cleaned house on that one.
9 under par.
Yeah, that's
My
not bad.
first time around.
That's not bad. But this is another one where, we were saying it last time, you can't say that there's a best of anything for Walkabout at this point, whether you want to say best visuals, best soundtrack, best gameplay, they're all freaking good. But this is another example of them knocking it out of the park.
No, my expectation with them now is that they're going to deliver on anything that, like, I don't second guess it. I don't go, oh my God, I hope it's going to be good. It just becomes more of an issue of, oh my God, I can't wait to have it. I can't wait to play it. So, I mean, they're consistent. There's nothing more I can say other than they consistently get better and their product is consistent. When you play their first course or you play this newest course, you feel like you're getting the same gameplay. There's not like anything that's changing from course to course, but of course they crushed it. Tell me 3 years from now, on Tuesday, Walkabout's going to drop a course. Guess what? They're going to crush it.
Maybe it'll be $4.90 or maybe it'll be $5.99 then. But dude, it's a cup of coffee right now.
Yep.
And what was cool to see with this one is this was kind of more of a throwback to more classic mini golf mechanics. I know that they were introducing a lot of new gameplay things. You give the eyebrows.
I give it one. I played a lot of mini golf. I never played one down rock walls like that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, example, there's no upside down town. There's no. Funky,
you're saying like human mechanics.
There's no funky gravity. There's no.
No.
This terrain is suddenly different. There's a bouncy part. No, it's just standard.
I get what you're saying.
Realistic.
The ball has gravity in this one.
Yeah.
And behaves accordingly.
Exactly. Yes, you are going to have some crazy things that you will not see in a real mini golf course. You are
Like the
correct
whole
about
course.
that. Yeah. But in terms of like the physics of it and the actual mechanics, I don't want to use the word realistic, but there's nothing funky about it.
No, I think for, the crazy environment you're golfing in,
Yeah.
just like Golf Plus,
Mm-hmm.
they have predictable outcomes that seem to, at least my brain believes the physics is pretty right on.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel that, especially with Walkabout with the obstacles,
Mm-hmm.
Bouncing it off of stuff if you choose.
A lot of par
Yeah,
threes on
their
this one.
physics are great.
A lot of par threes on this one.
Uh-huh.
I remember there was like 9, more. I'm sorry, I want to say like 15 or 16 of the holes were like par threes on the easy
There's a
mode.
lot of par threes.
I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not good enough at this. I held up in the beginning, but by the end I had fallen apart. Well, you were soaring,
Yeah, I got a lot of birdies right off the bat. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
boom, boom. And then there was a couple of holes that I was like, man, I know I'm blowing a couple of strokes no matter what.
Mhm.
It got to the point where when I was getting par, I was getting upset.
And
'Cause
this
I'm
one,
like, oh man.
the only new gameplay things that this one introduced is like in the hard mode, because hard mode's always nighttime and dark. It
Mhm.
introduces flashlights that you can have with your guy, but you can also edit that in the settings and you can turn it off. It's just a new visual thing that they added. But in terms of like core mini golf mechanics, if you're one of those players that's like, look, upside down wasn't for me. I'm looking for more of, typical Walkabout. This is one of those courses,
Yeah, Lucas touched on that in
the interview.
So it
Yeah.
seems like they might drop a course where they're going to try something new,
Mhm.
knowing that there could be a ripple of not everybody jumping up for, but guaranteed the next course will be something you'll enjoy. So
Yeah, they can't just do continuous new mechanic, new mechanic, new mechanic. They do need to throw in these more classic ones like this.
but the illustration on it is, like, of course, it's especially the zoom out mode. You look at that
Yeah.
full and you're like, damn, man.
Again, we said
Don and team and the people that are doing the sound, whose name I sadly cannot recall.
oh no, don't say that to me, because it was
Yeah.
said in the interview with
Yeah.
Lucas.
I had it like kind of like going to tip my tongue, but
And yeah, the
I
sound
felt
score
it fading.
is amazing. Like they said, nothing that gets stuck in your head repetitively.
No, it's
but it
pretty
adds
close
to
though.
it.
Yeah,
It
it's
adds
just
to
there's
it.
this like suspenseful little.
It might be the only thing that I'll say the most of. It might be the most suspenseful soundtrack of the series so far.
So realistic, I felt claustrophobic.
Well, hey, you're in the
Where
center
the
of the earth.
underwater one, so realistic, I thought I was gonna drown. This one was
No.
like, but I could honestly see someone who may not know that they're claustrophobic feel claustrophobic if you start looking around and really letting it sink in that.
Well, it's definitely not one of the grand courses in terms of scale.
you're not going to see the sun.
It's not like one of those like it's not a labyrinth
Mhm.
with like, oh my goodness, there's so much travelable area. It's a little bit smaller of a course, but it's really good.
I feel like an idiot when I said that about the last one, and come to find out it's one of their biggest, I think.
Yeah,
But it just perception-wise to me, I'm
perception
like,
versus reality.
Labyrinth to me was like, that thing is a monster.
Well, it's because me and you started walking around the maze of it. We spent how long in it? Just zooming all around.
Mhm.
Remember, because we were looking for one of the balls, and we're like, how far down could it possibly be?
The balls aren't too hard to find in this one either.
No, it was one of those. Another, we were filming, and you accidentally found.
I
probably
accidentally found like
5.
6,
Yeah.
Accidentally, like, no, a couple of them, if you watch the video, for sure, you'll see I'm looking, and then one, even you saw it, and you definitely don't go out of your way to
I
look
went,
for 'em.
aw, man.
And then the minute I looked over where you were looking, I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
Gling. I'll
Couldn't
take
help but
that.
find that one.
Yeah.
No,
There was a couple I didn't go out of my way, but I didn't not look around. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I won't go look behind stuff, but I'll just stand. And because I know they're good with perspectives
Mm-hmm.
and angles. So I'm like, all right, oh, there it is. It's not my fault. You don't
No,
want to.
but another home run from Walkabout. I
man.
enjoyed this
I
one.
almost want them to drop some jank just so people can know how good they really have it. Because it's just, dude, it rocks every platform. I don't know.
It's doing great on PlayStation VR. It should be a no-brainer
How
for the Vision
go out of your
Pro.
way to unimpress me?
right? It should be a no-brainer for the Vision Pro because it's already ready for the iOS.
Yeah, I made that connection real quick when they were saying that most apps will be.
This would be a #1 seller on the Vision Pro.
It's just funny because people are going to spend $3,500
And then play mini golf.
You're going to find out the #1 played thing is freaking mini golf.
Hey, until you play it and you understand why, you know?
Yeah. Well, people are going to get to who might not have been able to, both on the phone and on the spatial computing device.
And they're hyping up. You can see on the wall with like almost movie theater style, like, you know, when you go to a movie theater and they have on the walkway of like either upcoming movie trailers or like, or not trailer, but promotional poster or one
A movie poster.
shown. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had one for the evil layers is what it's called, right?
Yeah, pre-promoting. I mean, it's not like it's under
Yeah,
secret.
we know about that one in Exploding Kittens.
Yeah. But it's cool to see them promoting it in the game on the side.
With like a movie.
One could argue that's advertisement. But
I mean,
that's an example of how ads could work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not hurting anything to see in the lobby.
Well, my dream would be, why can't Walkabout Mini Golf advertise their DLC on the Population 1 billboard? Makes no sense to me. Who's hurting there?
Nobody.
Doesn't break immersion. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, especially if you keep it VR. Maybe I don't want to see Windex right there. But, you know, if we keep it stuff that's on the Quest ecosystem already, like, yeah, you can sell ads for other games on, you know, it has to get approved. It has to be a non-immersion breaking spot, but why not?
It would work well in like NASCAR.
Yeah, I was thinking NASCAR
If
games.
like VR companies could pay to be sponsor and then you can pick it in the settings to choose, you know, choose Mighty Coconuts as your car, whatever.
There's advertisers on
There's
the holes
there's
in
a way
golf
to
games.
do it, and I think that's just how they did it. I mean, granted, it's their own product, so one could say, well, it's not advertising. But what if it was something just as cool that you spotted on like a coming soon poster that you're in charge of looking at?
Go watch
not.
Go watch a PGA event and go look at all the ads on the rails, on the holes, and you're gonna tell me Golf Plus can't advertise? But nonetheless, anything else you wanna touch on this one today?
No, man. I mean, the bulk of the news was really, and it's still going on, is just Apple. But we're so many months away. I just don't know. So it'll occupy the news. It is cool to see, you know, mainstream media jumping all over. I cannot sign on to a news source without seeing the picture of,
and again, it's cool.
The person wearing the headset with the weird eyeballs looking at you all.
Again, Apple's the cool.
All creepy.
Apple's making the VR the cool kids now, but that doesn't mean that they'll buy that. Cool kids will buy the Apple headset. I think that they might buy the Meta headset.
It will when it's bundled. When you can get that new iPhone
with insurance,
iPhone 18, iPhone 20. Yeah, it's the insurance. That's a conversation that honestly I would, if we could find somebody in the electronic insurance
that would be like, hey, that would cost this amount
that
a
we
month.
could get on. I would love to talk to, because I have read like some really well written articles about
I'll tell you
how these high end headsets and the insurance. It might be an issue a little bigger than people are thinking.
I'll tell you right now, if it's the same company that does the phone insurances right now through Verizon Assurion, hell no am I buying their insurance, because unfortunately I had to use it one day through work, and it's not what you think it is. You're going to pay with your phone right now. You buy the phone insurance when you get your plan. You're going to pay monthly for it. Then you need to use it for anything. Nothing's free on it. It's $200 to do anything.
I think the last time we ever used for a broken iPhone, it cost $100, even though it was insured.
Yeah,
and you're paying for the insurance.
Yeah, it's like, so hell no would I get their insurance.
So yeah, there is some serious talk that needs to be, because here's what else is scary, man. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to get it, and they're going to live off the factory warranty. And let's be honest. I mean, you buy a $3,400 headset, and they're like, would you like to buy the service plan for $400? You're going to be like, fuck no. I just spent $3,500. How long is the warranty good for? 120 days. Then that's what I'm taking. Because you might have literally just spent every penny to have this headset.
You're going to see the articles. Don't let your kid touch the Apple Pro headset.
Dude. And then what if your kid does put on the headset? Are they going to be able to buy stuff off it like with ease? Or is it going to know it's a little kid's eye? I don't know. But I'm really, the whole insurance thing, I'd love to have that conversation. Not speculate on it as much as I do, but there's an area that I think this is going to be a cost that, you know, could be equal to what you spent for the damn headset, depending on what happens.
Well, especially if it's a monthly recurring thing and how.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And there's no other way to do it. They're not. You can't insure something for $3,400 and not think something's going to go bad. There's risk. What's the risk with having the device?
I'll be watching this one as an observer and be enjoying my $500.
I mean, can you use it outside?
Yeah, right. I imagine not.
I was well because of the cameras.
You can use the Quest 3 outside, but don't let your screen, your lenses be shown at all.
Yeah, I'm not even cool with those outside cameras.
So, in my opinion, you cannot use the Quest outside because if the sunlight touches that lens for a millisecond,
I love when people post pictures,
and you can just tell it's burnt.
Yeah,
your
like,
lens.
were you playing outside?
Yeah,
I saw someone selling a Quest 2 on Facebook for like pretty cheap, and the thing was beat up, looking like it was dirty. And they're like, it's only dirty because my kid uses it outside all the time. And I'm like, that's the last headset I want. You think it's some my kid, not
that
teenager.
Thing's gonna have burn spots in the lens everywhere.
Just leaving it sitting on the lawn. Screw that. So yeah, I was curious about like what can you bring the Vision Bro outdoors?
You were saying, can you drive with it? You know,
The driving, I'm still nobody's answered me yet. I'm just saying it looked like it could theoretically see better than me based on the non-CGI 4K per eyeball video. I don't know if my eyeball is 4K each, you know, like bed right in there.
I take off my glasses, I'll tell you for sure they're not.
And I believe the legalities of it would be in your favor because you can wear dark tinted sunglasses. So there's no law against it. I'll make the claim right now.
This is in pass-through mode. You can see my eyes.
How could you argue it? You're allowed to drive you can drive with ski goggles. They're not going to pull you over and be like, hey, let's check the tint on those ski goggles. Look, fuck you, man. You see my eyeballs, like you said. I'll change them. Want them to be your eyeballs? Watch this trick. Click. Now they're your eyeballs. Now you're looking at yourself now. So look yourself back into the cruiser over there, and I'm going to drive my way because I got like 7 or 8 cameras telling me what to do. You got your lame eyeballs. But I am curious how well you could. It's dangerous. Don't go drive.
You're not suggesting this.
No.
You are not suggesting this. You were saying in a theoretical,
can you do
hypothetical
it?
realm.
Would it? Because
You're
I
not telling
envision
anybody-
cars not to have windshields in the future anyways. It's like, why would you need them if you can build a camera that sees better than you? Why are you the one in charge of the viewing? Why wouldn't you put it into the cameras? It's crazy.
What a day.
If I can put up an image sharper and more crystal clear than what I'm looking at with my own eyes, because, you know, by this time AI will be controlling all that cameras.
If you just press start record at the start of every trip too, you have a dashboard cam.
Right? Built in. I think, you know, somebody's going to do it. I mean, dude, people are driving down the
Not
highway.
saying to do it.
Tesla's not saying take a nap on the freeway, but there's no shortage of videos of dudes sleeping.
We may or may
Come
not
on,
have
man.
recorded a 10-minute segment in a car one time.
Oh,
I'm not saying we did.
mhm.
I'm not saying we didn't. I'm just saying it's possible. So do I think somebody's going to do that? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about with that whole recording. On
So nonetheless, you know, a lot of fun stuff this past week. You
the,
know,
dude, holding a mic and a soda are the same thing. So I can justify
yeah,
driving while recording.
Super excited to see what comes from Maze Theory. And
Yeah.
stay tuned for Wednesday's interview with Quantar. You know,
It's going to be interesting.
yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Got a lot of questions.
So if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. And like I said, stay tuned for Wednesday. Ciao, ciao.